running, cause we are going thrifting. What is up to all the gamers and thrifters out there? I am Dabamaniacs, and this is Thrifting Throwdown. It's the show all about adding video games to my collection on the cheap. I hit up flea markets, thrift shops, you name it, just trying to find some cheap deals on video games to add them to my collection.
That's a great idea.
A great plan.
And speaking of the collection, it has been growing rapidly. I am well into 1,000 games at this point across a whole bunch of different systems. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at the exact number right now to see where the collection stands as of today. I've been having a lot of luck out on the thrifting hunt. Even though we're in the middle of winter, I'm still picking up games all over the place and getting them at a pretty good price. I'm trying to keep that streak going, so today I'm gonna hit up some of my favorite local thrift stops, see if I can find some good scores. Before we do that though, I want to remind you to hit that like button. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video and lets others know that it's a video worth checking out. And absolutely be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm over 200 subscribers and climbing, so I'd really love to have you along for the ride. Be a member of my tag team and hit that subscribe button. You can join me for every single episode of Thrifting Throwdown. Also, feel free to leave a comment down below if you saw anything interesting in the video, you saw anything interesting at your local thrift stores, or if you just want to chat about gaming in general. Love chatting with you guys, have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm looking forward to doing it even more as this channel grows. Speaking of growth, I have been working on some of my social media stuff, so feel free to follow me at Dabamaniacs. I've got an Instagram, a few other things going on. I've been working on my Twitch channel, so be sure to check that out. I'm gonna get that up soon, I hope. Fingers crossed. And lastly, I do want to remind you, at the end of the video, I do show you my best thrifts of the day, so be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video for that. That just about wraps up the intro, and I think it's time to go find some video games. Let's hit the road, guys. Oh yeah! Thank you. Damn, alright. Unfortunately, it was slim pickings at that Goodwill, which is kind of a bummer because I've had so many good scores at this one lately that it seems like it's maybe dried up at this point. I did show you a bunch of those games that were there. Obviously, most of those were marked $9.99, and they've been marked that price for like weeks and weeks now. I did go through, pick out a few that I found. I also got that base, which I think is either Imaginators or something like that. I forget what they're called, but yeah, grab that. It's worth about 10 bucks. But then I grabbed some basic old sports titles just because they were $3. So not a great score, but it's the score we've got. So let's see what else we can do today. 7's a little high, but it's sealed, so that's gonna be a get for me. That one might be a reseal.
Hello? Yes?
All right, so second Goodwill was okay. I did manage to get 2 games, and they're both sealed. I know these WWE games have some value, and a sealed version, I'm gonna guess, has some good value. So feel pretty good about that. Not super psyched that all their games have been marked at $6.99 lately, because there were a bunch of titles there that I would have picked up if they were a little bit cheaper. So kind of a bummer. Running out of local Goodwills that'll sell me games at good prices, but there are other places to thrift shop, so let's hit the road and look for some better deals. Let's go. Unfortunately, this was here last time I was here. It looks like no one wants this old Mad Catz wheel. Whoops. Try that again. Another car case. That is unwieldy. Another bust. Unfortunately, they had a bunch of games, nothing at a good price though. Even the stuff that would have been half off would have been $2.50, and it was all sports titles, so really no point, at least not for that stop. But hey, maybe we'll have some better luck somewhere else. Hey look, random basketball sitting down there. Alrighty, let's hit the road.
Hasta se casó también, porque ella se casó con...
It's nerf or nothing.
Well, that Goodwill was a bust, which is a little bit predictable because I don't think I've ever had a score at this Goodwill. They've had a few games this time, some stuff I was interested in looking at, but nothing that was within my price range. I'm not going to pay $4 or $5 for a sports title. It's getting late in the day. I might try to squeeze in one more stop. Yeah, let's hit the road and see if we can find one more big score before the end of the day. Let's go. Oh yeah, My Hero Academia pillow. Gravity!
俺こっち応援したい。ヒーローかうららかお茶子。
Wow. Love the Animorphs, one of my favorite books growing up. I'm trying to get a full set. I am missing a few. And I'm gonna read through them all again. And then hopefully make a video about it. What do you think? Alright, so I've been going through the Wii and the DS games trying to find some cheap stuff. I did find Billy the Wizard for $3. This terrible Disney game for $2. We've also got some old Game Boy Advance games here, but they're priced out of my range. So yeah, I'm gonna look through the rest of these, see if I find any more cheapos, and then we'll go to the next aisle. I had no idea they made a Grease game. That's weird.
Listen up, shoppers. We have great news. Second and Dollar is now apply today for part-time or seasonal position and join our team of friendly nerds. You'll not only get paid to hang out at your
Okay, who's buying me this? Definitely need that. I mean, all of it's pretty cool though. Alright, so I ended up grabbing a nice diverse mix of games across a bunch of different systems here, so I'm excited to get these home and take a look at them. I think I spent about $15, so I got a pretty good deal here, I think, less than $3 a piece if I had to guess. I know I overpaid at some of the other stops, so hoping to make up a little bit of money on these. Oh boy, I think they're selling Girl Scout cookies up here, so I may have to grab some of those real quick. But after that, I think it's time to head home and see what we picked up today. So, what flavor cookie should I get? I think I'm gonna go for those chocolate coconut ones. I mean, leave a comment down below. Let me know what kind of cookies you want. Ah! Made it back to home base. Let's take a look at everything we picked up out on the road today while we were thrifting. Up first from that overpriced Goodwill, I've got 2 sealed video games, which I don't normally see. I definitely don't see sealed Xbox 360 games, so this is definitely a find. And I know the wrestling games tend to have a little bit of value, so this one's probably worth a few bucks. Top Spin, I don't think will really have much value, but I kind of like, in the impulse of the moment, just pulled the trigger on it, even though it's not that special. But I didn't have it in my collection, so I was like, why the heck not? So yeah, first 2 pickups of the day, both of them sealed, which is pretty unique, I think. Moving on to my pickups from the other Goodwill, I first want to pull out this freaking thing, this Imaginators. I'm pretty sure it's Imaginators. Actually, sorry, Skylanders base. I don't really know anything about Skylanders. I saw it and I was like, maybe it's worth a few bucks, so I grabbed it. It's literally worth a few bucks, so the $2 I paid for it is probably what it's worth pretty much. But I didn't have one, so I'll find some place on the shelf for it or something like that. And as far as my game pickups from that Goodwill, I did pick up 3 sports titles, unfortunately. I know, that's kind of a disappointment. I did pick up this Xbox original NBA Live 07, NBA 2K16, and NHL 09 for the PS3. So I don't have a lot of Xbox One games, so it's always nice to add those. Any original Xbox game I'm missing, I'm more than happy to add that. So even though they're just sports titles, nothing really special, it's still cool to be able to add some things that I didn't have. So At some point, I'm going to run out of sports titles to collect, so you'll soon be wishing for the days of sports titles when I'm coming home with no games whatsoever. So it's better than nothing, I guess. So yeah, there you go. 3 Goodwill game pickups. All right, up next, we've got some of the games from Third and Charles, which is that, I think it's a reseller store. It's sort of like I'm not even sure what type of store you'd call it. It's definitely a retail store, so the prices were not great on most of the games, but I literally sat there, you guys. I went through probably at least 60% of the games they had, just looking for the absolute best prices on games, and I think I managed to hit that mark with some of the things that I picked up. And just to give you an idea, I did save the receipt. I want to show you exactly how much I paid for this stuff. As you can see, nothing was more than $3. I got the 3 games you're looking at here all for under $3, and there's 3 more I'm going to show you in a second. Despite the fact that most of the games there were priced pretty high, I still managed to find some thrift games, and none of them were in my collection, so all brand new games. So even if you're going to these retail stores, you can sometimes have some luck if you're trying to thrift hunt for games. Now, obviously, if you're looking for specific titles or willing to pay more, the world is your oyster. You could have gone in there and cleaned up on video games.
Must be nice.
But this is thrifting for video games, so we're looking for cheap prices on video games, and I think we achieved that here. Unfortunately, we ended up with a game like TV Superstar, which has very little value and isn't special, and I'll probably never look at this game again, but it's now in my collection. Slightly better titles here: Billy the Wizard, Rocket Broomstick Racing, and Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So Borderlands, obviously a very popular title. Billy the Wizard, not so much, but it's still an interesting little game because you don't really have many games that are wizard broomstick racing. So it's kind of a one of a kind game. So happy to add that to the collection. All right, we've got our final 3 pickups from that same store. An Intellivision game that I paid $2 for. A freaking Intellivision game. Look at the cool retro art on this box. I mean, this is freaking awesome. I'm so hyped. This is like in great condition as well. I will pay $2 for an old video game like this any day of the week. That's right up my alley. And my favorite part about this, it's pretty much complete. I mean, it's got this stuff here, so I assume it's not missing anything. There may have been 2 of these originally, but I mean, it's pretty damn complete. The label on the game looks good. This is a win in my book. This is a great addition to the collection. And then we come to Disney Camp Rock the Final Jam for Nintendo DS.
What? It's a piece of crap.
So this is one of those, I'm going to call it shovelware, even though it's a named title. This is junk. If you played this game and enjoyed it, leave a comment down below. Please admit to that in public. But yeah, this is... the less I say about this, the better. I've already given it too much time. Only slightly better than that because it's a PlayStation 1 title. Dora the Explorer Barnyard Buddies. I had no idea Dora the Explorer games were coming out in the PlayStation 1 era. That kind of blew my mind. This must have been right at the end of the PlayStation 1 era, I'm gonna guess. You know, let's see what we got here. Help find the missing farm animals. Oh yeah, we can use the map. Come on, vamonos. Everybody, let's go. All that good stuff. Still kind of cool, though. I love adding PlayStation 1 games to the collection because that might be my favorite console because there was nothing more exciting than when the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 64 came out and it was like the competing consoles. I remember arguing with kids in school over which was better. The glory days. I'd love to have those arguments again because I'd win them all over again. So there you have it. There are the pickups for today. A really eclectic mix. We've got some really old retro stuff. We've got some terrible shovelware. We've got some sports titles. And then we've got some cool, interesting one-offs as well. So I think we had a pretty successful day, even though we're thrifting in winter and, you know, didn't walk away with 100 games for $10 like we might if we were going to some yard sale somewhere in the summer. But we still added a bunch of games to the collection on the cheap. And speaking of the collection, let's see where it stands after these additions. As you can see, it is steadily climbing. We are having lots of success on Thrifting Throwdown, and I'm so happy to have you along for that ride. And to that end, be sure to hit that like button and let me know that you enjoyed this video, and more importantly, hit that subscribe button so you can join me for every single episode of Thrifting Throwdown. You can join my tag team, become a little Dabamaniac, and be there for every single episode, seeing 1,000 games, 2,000 games, 10,000 games. You're going to be there for all of them. Additionally, you can leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, whatever your thoughts were, leave a comment down below. I always have a good time chatting with you guys. Before we call it a day though, I do want to remind you, you can follow me on social media at @LDabstroyero on pretty much all the different social media sites, so be sure to check me out on whichever one you prefer. And lastly, be sure to stay tuned because my best thrift of the day is coming up in just a moment. You're gonna see what my absolute best pickup today was, so don't miss it. But that about wraps things up for the outro. I wanna thank you again because thrifting is way more fun with friends and I love having you along for the ride. So keep on thrifting. Oh yeah!